What is going on, folks? Your boy LOIN, finally bringing you the piece of content that you've been feverishly anticipating for months, and that is another Rust in Minecraft update video. So, before we jump into it, I just want to mention that I've been trying to do another update for the longest time. I was asking pretty much every couple weeks for a new video, and the developers just didn't have any time. Oblivion, the owner of the Oblivion network and the lead developer of this project, is currently in college, which is the end of high school for people in the UK, so he's been super duper busy. He only gets 6 weeks off in the summer. It's crazy. So this project will probably not be anywhere close to done and playable for the public until the summer of 2017. I just want to make that incredibly clear. Do not get your hopes up thinking that this is going to come out tomorrow. There's still a ton of work that needs to be done, and when I was discussing things with Oblivion, he informed me that just the simple building system that you're about to see in the game took about 5,000 lines of code that he had to sort through. So you can imagine that even for a team of people that's beyond one person, like the previous Rust in Minecraft server was, this is still a ton of work. It's a colossal feat. It's really impressive, but you can definitely tell that they've made some progress, although they had to rebuild their system entirely on a new foundation of code, and that's part of the reason that it's taken so long to be able to do this video. Let's go ahead and jump into the server and take a look at the stuff that they've done in the meantime. Okay, so here we are, and you can see that I literally have the same inventory of stuff that I did when I made the last video months ago. And because they rebuilt the entire foundation of code and therefore the entire system of the game since the last video, the guns don't even work. I can reload, but I can't shoot. So it just goes to show a little bit of the extent of the work they've done. And this is the previous board of items that you saw in the last video, which I showed off. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at the new board of items that they've made since. And you can tell that there's a lot of new things added into the game, like a small water catcher, tool cupboard, bolt action rifle, explosives, handmade shells, timed explosive charge, also known as C4, and different types of ammo, code lock, all of this stuff. Unfortunately, this ammo is just for demonstration. These are just models. They are scaled up a lot more than they should be. They don't currently do any kind of different damage because the guns don't even work in this current build. They still need to be reprogrammed in as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the timed explosive charge. That is sexy. Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to throw this stuff at people when this is finally ready. You can tell that they're definitely taking their time to make sure that this is a quality project with beautiful texture pack items and all sorts of stuff like that. Let's take a look at that. Wow. Apparently, Minecraft has been updated recently too in just the general game, and you can make a lot more detailed items. So this stuff is really cool. There's even the notes pinned to the tool cupboard. I mean, talk about an unnecessary feature that looks pretty badass. Let's take a look at this shotgun. What do you know? So there's really not much to do with all this stuff here, besides take a look at it. Let's go ahead and grab a code lock. That looks really cool. Mad props to Madston Magic for working on all these different items and stuff, because you can tell that even if it's something simple like a sulfur ore, he put some work in to make it actually really nice. So that's pretty cool. Sleeping bag, huh? Cool. Yeah, so all these items, man, they're programmed in essentially. Let's see if I can swing the sword. That's pretty cool. Can't shoot the guns, but we can do something that's pretty OP that you can't even do in Rust currently, which is dual wielding. So I'm pretty sure we can pick up another shotgun. Yeah, we got a bolt action and a shotgun. How dope is that? There's no restrictions on it currently, so you could pretty much have 2 rocket launchers, you can have 2 AKs, you can have 2 of anything. I don't know if this is going to be a feature which they will keep in the game and restrict it, so it's more like just 2 pistols or something realistic. But I think it's pretty darn badass to have a rifle in one hand and a shotgun in the other. Obviously, it wouldn't really make any sense because there wouldn't be an effective way to aim and reload and manage your weapons with akimbo is apparently one of the terms for it, dual wielding. So yeah, that's pretty badass. Having a gun out while you've got your C4s, you don't have to worry about being shot. Shit. So that's pretty much it for the new item board. I could show you each and every single thing, but there really wouldn't be much point because I can't even shoot the guns. I can't show you the difference in damage with the ammo. All we can do is look at the oversized model that's just a placeholder for now and imagine what it will be like in the future. But what I can do is show you the building system that I mentioned earlier, which currently, in its infantile state, still took 5,000 lines of code from Oblivion himself. So kudos to you, man. Jeez, this project must be insanely complicated when you think of all the thousands of lines of code that go into every single item. So what you do with this building plan is when you select it, you right-click, and it brings up the list of different structures that you can create. And of course, here is my hotbar with all my items. So I can double-click on Foundation, and then it brings up this tool to place foundations. If I can't place it, it will turn red. So let's go ahead and plop one down right here. Just right-click, and it brings up the menu again. So now what we can do is choose pillars. Now this building system currently uses the old legacy pillar design, where when you select pillars, you can and have to put them on the edge of your structure, all 4 corners of the structure, in order to support walls and floors above the structure. There are no triangle foundations in the game yet, and there's actually a poll, which I will mention in a little bit more detail at the end of this video, that you will be able to go and vote in to select which kind of building system you want to see in the game when it's finally done. Either the new building system, where you can use triangles, or this old building system, and more specifically, how the pillars work. Because in Rust itself, right now, the pillars cannot be placed on the edges of a structure or a foundation. They can only be placed in the middle for stability purposes. This is the old legacy system where you have to place the pillars and they go on the 4 corners of the foundation. Here's a door frame. And last but not least, a door. Look at that. So in order to cancel our crafting, we hold Shift, and we should be able to right-click. There we go. We've canceled crafting after pressing Escape to get out of the menu. Now we're going to open the door. I'm going to switch to a shotgun so I can open it without bringing up the build menu and all that stuff again. So you can see that our next logical step would be to put a ceiling on that if it were a 1x1, or build more foundations outward and expand upon that design for a bigger base. We'd put staircases in one area and ceilings and have upper floors, etc., etc. Pretty much exactly the same as it was in Legacy, unrestricted. Can build in pretty much any shape you want as long as it is part of a square-based design. So now we're just going to go ahead and take a quick look at some of the newer item models for the repair bench, furnace, and tool cupboard and stuff like that. There's really no point in me trying to place them in a structure or something. I'm just going to show you the models that have been placed, and we can just admire them with some Jeopardy music for a few seconds. So this basically concludes all of the content that we have for you for this update video. I do apologize for the fact that there isn't more that I can show off, and I especially apologize for the fact that you guys have been waiting for the IP for months and months, and yet again, I can't give it to you because, well, it doesn't really exist yet. This is just a test server. When the real server is launched, you can be rest assured that you will get the IP from me first. However, it will take a significant amount of time to finish this, primarily because Oblivion has a lot of school obligations in his last 2 years in what would be the equivalent of high school in the US. It's college in the UK. Like I mentioned before, they had to go and rebuild their entire system on top of that. That took a significant amount of time, and it slowed down the work on everything. But now that that is finished, they've told me that these videos should come more often. There should be at least one update video every month until the server is finally finished, and hopefully it will not take longer than summer of 2017, but it could be a year from now. I'm not completely sure. None of us can give you an estimated time of arrival. We just really don't know because there's a lot of work to be done, and when other things take up your time, well, what can you do? It's hard to find the time sometimes when you've got obligations like school. So hopefully all of you will understand that and not be too disappointed that this isn't the grand opening of Rust MC. But this is actually a really sophisticated, super well done project that they're taking their time on, and ultimately that is what we want from them. And when it comes to the development of the game and the long-term establishment of a working product, if you're still watching this video, you'll probably be pretty stoked to know that I'm going to give you links to not only follow Oblivion on Twitter and get a lot more updates and sort of live announcements and a news feed as to what's going on with Rust MC, you're also going to get a link to a Google Docs forum, which is a poll that lets you decide what kind of quote-unquote knowledge system or blueprint system you want to see in the final product of Rust MC. They still don't know if they're going to go with components, XP, or a blueprint system like the original Rust had, which I personally think would be the best. So definitely hit up the links that I'll leave in the description and the comments section to go and cast your vote on that and whether or not you want the original Rust building system with square foundations and 4 pillars, or the newer Rust building system with square foundations and triangle foundations and pillars that only work in the middle of a foundation for stability and aren't necessary for building walls. Thanks so much for watching this video, and thank you so much for your dedicated support and interest in this project. I'm sorry that I've essentially given you some bad news in this video by letting you know that the grim reality is that this will probably not be done for several more months. However, they're working hard on it. They're not going to give up anytime soon, and there is no restrictions on them besides time and having to do stuff in the real world. So let's wish them all the best of luck, and I highly encourage you to go ahead and cast your vote in the poll that I've linked, and follow Oblivion on Twitter to get those notifications about the server. And that's pretty important because I'm not going to be able to do a video every day, but he might be able to tweet something every day to at least keep your interest going and let you know that progress is being made. But like he said, we should be able to get videos produced more quickly, even if they're only Devblog updates with no real gameplay or anything like this. So once again, thanks a lot for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. My name is LOIN. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Definitely check me out in other videos, other playlists, other games. Send some luck to the team that's developing this awesome project. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you choose to celebrate. Hope you're doing great. I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace out.